Okay, folks, on our AMSOIL Fishing Report, we're going to head up to Hayward, Wisconsin right now to talk with our buddy Pete Mena. For those of you who don't know, Pete filmed my very first show with me back in August of 1991, and we've been fishing together ever since. Pete is not only the muskie guru of the world, but I think Pete is one of the best all-around anglers, good walleye fisherman, good at all kind of fishermen. Yeah, we're actually doing our Hayward report in person this month up here. And I'll tell you what, Pete, before we even talk about the fishing, slippery ice today. You don't have a lot of snow cover, but ice conditions are outstanding, aren't they, up in Hayward?
Yeah, they really have been since the start, John, and they remain that way. We've got plenty of good ice. We're to the point now where we're driving vehicles out, and because we don't have much snow, we're not dealing with slush or anything, so it's awesome.
Well, Steve Jensen, one of the top guys that ice guide up here. How's fishing been, Steve, overall in Hayward?
You know, John, it's been a pretty solid winter. I would call it average now. You know, we're in January, that time when it gets a little bit tougher, but we're still catching fish, plenty of panfish and pike. I'm mostly targeting those. Suspended crappies as well. I'm not hitting the walleyes as much. It's getting a little bit more difficult. Yeah. But we're catching fish, so, you know, it's been fun getting plenty of fish fries.
Well, guys, as we look forward to the rest of January and the first half of February, game fish is still open. Where do you target the panfish this time of year? I know you like to get the crappies in the basin, the deeper part of the lake, but is it still a weed bite?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. That really hasn't changed, John. You know, you're going to have your basin bites. That's still going real well on the panfish, and then some weed areas. Different lakes are getting, you know, hotter and colder this time of the year, though, and you do have kind of the midwinter blues. It seems like the last week or so the walleye bite has dropped off quite a bit, but there's, you know, some lakes that are going to be better than the others again. But you know, try some out deep, try some up in the weeds, and but I think pike and panfish are probably going to be the best here for the next month.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they might pick up again a little closer to spring.
And I know you like to guide for the pike and put your clients on panfish at the same time on big weed flats. Your types of baits that you're using for the pike, just a simple shiner minnow?
Simple shiners, large shiners. The larger the better, typically, John, but every day can be a little bit different there. And then for the panfish, those little cast masters are awesome. Little tungstens, tip on most spikes, waxies, or plastics, depending on the day. And you know, for the bluegill and perch, I'm liking the weed flats right now. They're still been hanging in there. And then for the crappie, it's mostly been suspended bite.
Any favorite lakes in Hayward that
you know, the ones that have been kicking out, the crappies, of course, the Chippewa flow, which is always good. Right. There's a lot of room out there. They have been catching fish out there. Nelson Lake is another popular one here. Yeah. You know, there's the big bodies of water seem to be the ones that are going right now. The Cooteray and Grindstone have been kicking out some of those walleyes and a few of the big pike. Getting some perch on those lakes as well.
And one last tip, folks, if you're coming up to Hayward Bait and Tackle is a great source of information.
Absolutely. Yeah, and all the different types of bait, John. You know, they got everything you need, whether spikes or waxies and all different types of minnows. And the information, I mean, there's guys like Steve that are in there that are out doing it every day, and you can definitely get, you know, if you're coming in blind, that's a good place to get.
And you guys give out the information,
Absolutely,
too.
John. Yeah. You know, we're going to tell you where the bite's been good. We're going to tell you what's biting the best. And if you're looking for a guide, there's a handful of us that do it. We'll certainly set you up with the right guide that's going to provide you what you're looking for that day.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to go back to fishing.
Well, that's about time.
It's a beautiful day.